Seguimos aquí en la buena 109 de 96.9 FM con su amigo y hermano Carmelo Rodríguez con el programa Carmelo y el Pueblo, como todos los lunes y miércoles, trayéndole información. Pero hoy estoy con Special Edition en jueves, ya que ayer no tuve, por estar fuera en otros negocios, no pude tener la programación de Carmelo y el Pueblo. Hoy jueves tengo Special Edition con Carmelo y el Pueblo y tengo en este día candidatos que están corriendo para la posición de concejal o alderman, como dicen en la ciudad aquí. Y también tenemos otras comisiones que se estarán promoviendo. En este día voy a comenzar con mi gran amigo Alden. Alden, welcome to 96.9 FM. What we're going to do, we're going to go down the line on the interviews here. And to get everyone here, I will say probably the question in Spanish and then in English, and then depending on the answer, I'll probably translate or not. Sometimes I like to keep the context as it is because I might mess it up and say the opposite as I translate, you know. So we want to keep it as we could. Alden, bienvenido aquí a 96.9 FM. Welcome to 96.9 FM. Es su primera vez. It's your first time here. Y es un placer. It's a pleasure for us. Can you please tell us what is the position that you're running for?
I'm running for Assessment Appeals.
And can you tell us a little bit, Assessment Appeal, es la oficina el cual en estos momentos él está corriendo como candidato, you're running as a candidate. Can you tell us a little bit about that office, that position?
Well, basically what it is, if you, when your house gets assessed, they set a price on it. If you do not agree with the assessment, say if it says you have a pool, but you do not have a pool, and you would like to put in an appeal for it. So you put in the appeal, we look it over, we examine it, and we vote on it.
La posición se llama apelar a la oficina donde usted apela al asesor del lugar, que decir cuando su casa cuando la persona viene, la ciudad viene a su casa y asesora su casa por la cantidad, y vamos a suponer, o el vehículo o un lugar, y usted no está de acuerdo, usted llega a la alcaldía a frente de la junta de ellos para poder, si usted se cree que es más alto o más bajo, usted llega al lugar al frente de ellos. Why is so important to have this board?
Well, there again, if you're being priced for something that you do not have, you don't want to pay out the money if you don't have to.
So do you, how often do you see, or what's the average amount of people that come to appeal?
Well, like I said, this is my first time running, so I wouldn't be able to give you the answer just yet.
Yo le pregunté que como cuántas personas van a apelar estos casos, pero como él no ha llegado todavía, él no sabe. Do you know, as a candidate, if this is a problem in the city of New Britain where many people have to come?
I wouldn't say it's a problem. I think it's a problem anywhere, is where if your assessments, a lot of people do, they don't take out permits. They don't let the city know when they get rid of stuff. So, unfortunately, they're charged for things that they don't have.
Tenemos en este día el candidato para apelar, la Junta de Apelar, el departamento, la Junta de Asesorar. Tengo el señor Alden Russell, que es el candidato de la línea B, el cual está corriendo con el equipo de la alcaldesa Erin Stewart. Y el equipo, esta junta es para asesorar a la gente, o cuando usted va a apelar una situación cuando usted cree que no es correcto, usted venga a la junta. What is the most important factor of having a good board member on that board?
Well, there again, working together, getting things done properly, is always important.
Le pregunto cuál es la importancia de tener una buena junta, y él dice que lo mejor es poder venir y trabajar como equipo. Another thing, ¿cuántas veces a la semana o al mes se unen ustedes? How many times a week or a month is this board comes together?
I understand it's like 3 months, almost every day, that you come together and you look at things over.
So something that happens frequently, weekly or monthly. So
yes.
you guys will be busy. Yeah. Algo que se hace frecuentemente. I'm assuming as many as, depending on the amount of people that come in with their complaint, that's when the board comes together.
That is correct.
What is the process for someone? ¿Cuál es el proceso para una persona apelar a la oficina de asesor? What is the process for someone to come in, in front of your board?
And put an appeal in?
Yes.
I believe we have open forums as well.
Okay, so someone fills the form and then you guys give them an appointment and then they are notified when to come in for their hearing or...
That's what I believe, yes.
Sí, él dice que usted pone el formulario de su apelación y viene al frente de la junta de ellos, entonces ellos determinan, le dan el día para que usted vayan. Pues muchas gracias, we wish you the best of luck. Le deseamos lo mejor. ¿Por qué deben votar por usted? Why they should vote for you for Alden Russell?
Well, I've been involved in the city for 2 years now as commissioner. I take my commission very seriously. In any position I hold, I would take very seriously.
Él dice que ha estado trabajando en las comisiones de la ciudad aquí los últimos años y todo lo que hace lo toma en serio. Por eso deben votar por el señor Alden Russell. ¿Cuál línea es la línea para votar para usted? Which line is the line to vote for Alden Russell?
That would be line B, all the way across.
La línea B es completamente en la línea. So, una vez más, si usted cuando salga a la votación el martes, usted sabe y el señor Alden Russell le está pidiendo que voten por él en la línea B. So once again, thank you for coming in. I just told the people that if they want a good board member, to go vote for Alden Russell online.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Muchas gracias. También tenemos aquí parte de el candidato Chris, y no voy a decirle el apellido porque lo voy a dañar. I'm not even going to say the last name because I know I'm going to mess it up. Es un nombre polaco muy difícil para pronunciarlo, so yo lo voy a decir a él. Pero mi respeto, por my much respect, is for having you here at 96.9 FM. Chris, candidato para el concilio del Partido Republicano. Bienvenido a 96.9 FM. Welcome to 96.9. The candidate Chris for Alderman en la ciudad de New Britain, the city of New Britain. Bienvenido.
Thank you for having me.
La misma pregunta se encuentra: ¿por qué usted quiere correr para el concilio, el cual es tan dificultoso? Why you want to run for Alderman in the city of New Britain, which we know is such a difficult position to a role to take over?
Well, being a resident of New Britain for the past 35 years and having my own business in downtown, I see some of the challenges that businesses face. I see some of the challenges that our residents face. I like to help out as much as I can in that process. I think I bring a wealth of knowledge, being a property owner, a taxpayer in the city. Obviously, you have to live in the city to run for office, public office in the city. I believe that my experiences in life and in business would bring a great value to the Common Council here in New Britain.
Wow, tremendo resumen tiene el señor Chris. Viene con 35 años como residente de la ciudad de New Britain, también propietario de negocios aquí en la ciudad de New Britain, también tiene otros negocios envueltos en la ciudad. Él dice que su experiencia de la vida y su experiencia en los negocios lo hace como un buen candidato para esta ciudad. One of the areas that the people always look, and I'm glad that I see in your resume, is the many years that you've been in the city of New Britain, plus also your investment in the city. As you said, you have your business, several business and investment you have done. ¿Qué ha sido lo que lo ha influenciado a usted a invertir en la ciudad de New Britain? What has been what inspired you to invest in a city such as New Britain?
Well, the amount of progress that I've seen New Britain have come about in the past, especially 6 years, starting with the new Costco, that was a big addition to our tax rolls and the grand list. I see a lot of investment. I see a lot of improvements. I see a lot of infrastructure being done. A lot more opportunities being opened up. Don't forget, New Britain is a pretty big city. We're not a town. We're not a Berlin. We're not a Kensington. We're not a Farmington. Those are towns. We're a city. Over 74,000 residents. So we have some challenges, and we have some great things that are happening lately. And why not in New Britain? Where else are you going to go?
Me gusta que el caballero dice que ha visto el progreso que ha pasado los últimos 6 años cuando tienen a Casco y el desarrollo. But at the end of the day, as a businessman, you have to see your pros and cons, and it's a risk. So it's always good to see that people would take the risk if they feel comfortable enough to take a risk. It's because the location is the right place at the right time.
It's definitely the right time. It's definitely the right location. I've been doing investing full time now for the past 5-6 years. I've never seen a greater opportunity than it is today to invest in New Britain, especially New Britain, because especially if you're going to invest in real estate, you can't go and do it somewhere else. I mean, you can, but obviously you're going to have higher costs. You're going to have New Britain is changing. It's changing for a lot better. The progress that it has been made like I said, in the recent years, definitely turn around.
Él dice que vale la pena tomarse el riesgo aquí en la ciudad de Britain, el cual ha hecho los últimos 5 o 6 años, el cual ha hecho inversiones en la sociedad, porque él ha visto el progreso que ha pasado. Él dice que es el buen tiempo y la localidad completamente. Él dice que nuestra ciudad no es como la ciudad de Berlin o Farmington, las otras ciudades. Es una área, ellos son pueblitos, somos más ciudad, el cual vale las inversiones. Now, el problema que hay aquí, señor Chris, es de que ¿cómo usted convence a personas que compren o invierten aquí cuando dicen que los impuestos son altos? As a businessman, when you tell those people they state that the taxes are high in Britain, how you convince them to come and invest and buy here as you did?
Very easily. If you're investing in real estate, especially, and you do your bottom numbers, you're still going to come out on top, even if you're, comparing to West Hartford. If you're buying in West Hartford, you're paying 3 times the amount for the house. And so the taxes will even out, okay? And our taxes go for our services, police, fire, city, school district, okay? We have more kids in schools than any other town, and that's why our taxes are higher. But still, our houses are a lot cheaper.
Él dice que la razón que al final del día los números suenan bien, aunque los impuestos sean altos, es a causa de que los precios de las casas están más bajos y nosotros aquí en la ciudad, los precios de las casas están más bajos. Usted puede comprar en otra ciudad, el precio va a ser más alto, su inversión va a ser más caro al final de la línea. Una de las razones que los impuestos están altos aquí en la ciudad de New Britain es porque tenemos muchos servicios, la cantidad de estudiantes en la escuela, y los servicios tenemos el cual otra ciudad no tienen. Now, jumping into the ring as a businessman, I know that taking the challenge and taking the risk for you as a businessman is an everyday thing. But now, when we talk about having to entrust you with 77,000 people and millions of dollars in a budget, why should the people of New Britain say, you know what, I'm going to entrust my finance, my children's life in the hands of Chris?
Because I'm just like you. I invested in New Britain, and I want to see New Britain grow, and I want to help Aaron Stewart to take the city to the next step. I believe that my experiences will bring the positive change that she started already and make it go forward. I invested in the city. Okay, so I'm trusting the people of New Britain to also trust in me that I'll make the right decisions to put those steps forward.
Me gustó mucho lo que usted dijo ahora mismo. I like a lot what you said just now. Él dice, primeramente, que él tomó ya el primer riesgo en invertir en la ciudad, estado en la ciudad, era una persona común como nosotros. Y ahora él le pide a la persona que confíen en él, porque es una persona corriente como todos nosotros. I think that is a great way. You already took you didn't need a title or you didn't need a spotlight to invest, and you voluntarily been in our community. And now we need more citizens like yourself to come in and say, you know what, I put up something else in my pot. I will go in there now and be part of the solution, not so much of the problem. During the year, what we saw so much is that within the council, we couldn't get people to agree. And I know that one of the part as a good business is to negotiate and to get people to agree to disagree, but still come in with a conclusion. During the year, we saw many people delay projects, which I believe it was because of political stand, and at the end still agree. Coming in from your experience as a businessman, knowing the community and the investment, what is the model, or what will you do in order to also negotiate with the other side to come for the best interest of our city?
some of the stuff that made me want to run, and the decisions that I took upon myself to understand the process, and especially in the past 2 years with the Common Council that's still in place today, I saw a lot of negative things being said, and a lot of things that I don't agree with. These people that are in Common Council right now, they don't understand what a holding process is. When you delay the process, there's a cost to that. Okay, I know that very well, because if I'm behind a month on my project, that's another month I have to pay the mortgage. That's another month I have to pay the light bill. That's another month I have to pay the gas bill. They don't pay the gas bill for the city of New Britain. Okay, they don't do that. They don't understand. Some of them, I'm not sure if they understand what that is. So if they want to play politics and say, "Oh, I'm gonna, delay this process. I'll table this decision today. We'll pick it up in the next month or 2 months." To me, that's a problem. Okay, we have to make decisions, informative decisions, mind you, on what's in front of us. So if we get if I have a resolution in front of me that says we need to spend money in a school, instead of having to, it's frustrating to me to see people holding back or not making the right decisions at the time of the process, and then say, "Oh, because we're Democrats or we're Republicans." You can't do that, especially for the city of New Britain. You're paying with other people's taxes and dollars. That's why I believe that Erin has the right kind of ticket and the right kind of team. She has Democrats, she has Republicans on her team that will come together and make those tough decisions that we need to have the city working every day and moving forward.
Me gustó, muy bonito. Él está hablando, siendo parte de los residentes de la ciudad de New Britain, él entiende la parte de negocios, de que si algo se delata en el negocio, eso causa otros gastos en el proceso. Vamos a suponer, él dice como un proyecto, si se delata va a pagar más en el gas, en la luz, en el mantenimiento de eso. No se puede malgastar el dinero de la ciudad en base de bases políticas, sino siempre mirando el porvenir de la ciudad. One other thing, every alderman that comes in with leaning on something that they feel that the city should be taken to, or they feel there needs to be change. Cada persona que viene al concilio siempre viene con inclinándose en algo que se debe arreglar o se debe manejar diferente. ¿Cuál es su posición? What is your inclination? What area do you feel that your tools or your experience will help the city go forward?
There's a couple different areas that I like myself. Quality of life issues for a lot of our residents, especially tenants. I'm a landlord myself, so I believe in that wholeheartedly. Everyone should have the same kind of abilities or live in a good environment. I take those to heart, because I would live in any one of my apartments, even the ones on North Street. It's just one of those things that it aggravates me, telling me, "Oh, you live in a better neighborhood." No, I don't. I want to live in the same neighborhood that you live in.
Wow, él dice que una de las áreas que él quiere mejorar es la calidad de vida, no importante en la calle que tú vives, pero poder vivir la mejor calidad. ¿Usted cree que la ciudad de New Britain tiene suficiente vivienda? First of all, do you believe that New Britain has enough housing for the people, place to live?
Does New Britain? That's a tricky answer and a tricky question. Does New Britain have enough housing? Housing's not being built right now, so I want to say no for our residents. But there's enough houses or apartments or residences for people to live. Yes, there is, because if you can't find an apartment here, you're gonna go somewhere else, right? Or the ones that you can't afford. It's one of those tricky things that we should be providing affordable housing for everybody. Of course, what can you afford? That's a totally different story.
And I'm glad you got that's my segue. Uno de los complaints más grandes es que las rentas de la ciudad de New Britain están tan altas. One of the things that many people say is that the rents in New Britain are high. Being a landlord, and I know that you have multiple buildings in the city, what is expensive and what is not expensive? When they say that it's expensive,
I say expensive, okay, so to me, let's say a decent sized 3-bedroom, let's say on Lincoln Street, fetches $1,200. Okay, by the college, that same apartment is $1,800. Okay, Market brings in the change. So if you want to live by the college, where there's a lot of obviously college kids renting, you're going to pay a lot higher rent because those landlords are going to say, "I'll rent it to our college kids because you're going to pay more." If you're going to live in a studio, let's say downtown New Britain, and you can get an apartment, one bedroom, nicely done, say $700, and those are available.
So quiere decir que hay una variedad en el mercado de las rentas. So that means there's a great, there's a big scope on the market of the rent when it comes to the city of Britain. So it all depends the location and how you want to live.
Location.
Para mi gente que nos están escuchando a través de aquí de la edición especial de Carmelo y el Pueblo, tengo aquí el señor Alden Russell, que está corriendo para la apelación de asesoramiento. Tengo también aquí el señor Chris, que está corriendo para el consejo. Y más adelante vamos a tener uno de los amigos más conocidos aquí, el señor Dan Salerno, pero más después. A little later on, I'm just throwing an introduction out there. Going back to it, so I'll get you in a few. Chris dijo algo que dice mucho. You said a lot about the market of the housing here, which makes a lot. ¿Usted cree que nuestra ciudad apela mucho hacia los negocios? Do you believe that our city is a very friendly city to our business?
I think in any city has its challenges, and I think that we can always do a better job. There's always room for improvement. We all know that. I think, having started, let me see, 1, 2, third now, different kind of businesses in the city of New Britain, I think it's very welcoming. We do need some improvements. I'm actually very happy with the infrastructures improvements lately. I think that's going to draw a lot to New Britain. I'm very happy with the bridge project. That, to me, that is awesome. That was like
bello, me encantó. I loved it too.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's gonna, unite the city that was divided technically by Route 72, and I think that's a great feature for our city.
Él dice que uno de los factores también ha sido el puente, el cual un tiempo se veía como la división y ahora lo estamos uniendo juntos. Y cuando le pregunté si él creía que la ciudad sí, él dice que siempre hay siempre oportunidad para mejorar, pero que sí, él teniendo ya la tercera clase de negocio, él ha visto cómo ha sido el desarrollo entre la comunidad y los negocios. What would be your advice for anyone that wants to open a business in the city of New Britain?
My advice, start it soon.
Eso que comience un poco. Do you believe that down the road there will be not that many opportunities, or why you said just start soon?
Because, when I first started in New Britain as a business owner, it was in 2004. The rents, to me, I don't believe in paying rent. Not the fact that people don't pay rents, but as far as if a business goes, I would encourage someone to buy their own building. Why? Properties are going up.
Okay.
I see. I have as a matter of fact, I have a business right now that I'm trying to relocate to, not my business, but someone else's, to locate to another building. And we had this conversation with him, and he says, I paid, $1,200 a month for rent for the past 6 years. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money.
See?
Do you know you could have your own building by then and an extra tenant paying you rent? And he's like, you know what, Chris, you're right. I'm like, why don't we put you into another building that your business could be in, okay? And you have two other renters paying off your mortgage. That's the extra money that you can put in. I always tell everybody the same thing. Buy a 3-family. You'll be happier than ever in your life. Yes, there's some maintenance involved. It's easy like people think it is, being a landlord and stuff like that. But if you buy a 3-family in City New Britain, not only most of the time you probably live rent free still.
Sí.
And to me, that's not have to go to work, let's say, to pay your mortgage. That's a beautiful thing.
Él dice que estamos viendo, el señor Chris gave an alert. Let me put it that way. El tiempo es ahora para comprar, que los precios están subiendo. Él dice que lo mejor para cualquier negociante es poder tener sus inversiones donde la misma inversión se está pagando. Él dio un ejemplo como una casa de 3 familias, que es una buena inversión, donde los inquilinos pueden estar pagando, el cual usted no tiene que irse a trabajar a pagar la renta porque se la están pagando a usted. Te felicitamos por su gran trabajo We want to congratulate you for your investment you've done in the city, for your commitment, and now for also taking the challenge to get into the nitty-gritty of things, which I know is a whole different beast. But I do believe that the city of New Britain need people as yourself. They have been the commitment in the city for you said over 35 years been in here. You know the issue of being a business owner, the pros and cons that comes in within the nature of business. But you have continued to invest on it. People as yourself should be. That is what gives us the temperature of how the city is. When we see people leaving, usually that tells us there's something going on. But when we hear people not only starting one business, but starts another business, that means that while many other people are letting those opportunities go by, somebody else was smarter and saying, you know what someone might see as a loss, I'm seeing as a gain. So, una vez más, bienvenido a 96.9. Once again, welcome to 96.9 FM. ¿En qué línea usted está corriendo? What line you running?
Running in line B.
¿Por qué usted decidió correr, for the last question, why you decided to run in the same slate with Alcaldesa Erin Stewart?
Because I believe in her progress.
Wow. Él dice que la razón que él decidió correr en la línea B con el equipo de la Alcaldesa Erin Stewart porque él cree en el progreso de ella. That speaks volumes, because you already have the business, you already have your properties, you're already established, and don't need that extra headache, if you want to say. If you did it have to be the passion, and sometimes it's the zeal that, you know what, I don't want things going backwards. I want things going forward.
I don't want things going backwards. No, I was involved in the downtown district for a little over 2 years, and I seen the progress that was made in that organization, and I see the progress still continuing. And making a decision to run for common council was a difficult one because it does take some time. You have to be involved, and me being really extremely busy. Having 2 kids in public schools, also, soccer, things like that. It's always a challenge, but I want to make time, and I want to make a contribution to my city, because I do believe in the progress that was made, and I want to continue that forward. Because you're right, we don't need to take 2 steps backwards when we take 1 step forward.
¿Contra quién? ¿Usted sabe contra quién usted va a estar corriendo? Do you know who's going to be your opponent at the race?
Mr. Carlozzi. I believe it's Mr. Carlozzi.
Sí.
Yeah.
Él estará corriendo, él está corriendo para el distrito 5, Ward 5, el distrito 5. En la baleta, cuando termina la baleta, el señor Chris va a estar para los residentes de la área 5, Ward 5, él estará corriendo ahí. Esperamos que le demos el apoyo al señor Chris. Él está colaborando con la comunidad como inversionista. So, thank you once again. You're running for Ward 5. Las elecciones son el martes, election on Tuesday. Todas las personas que viven en ese distrito, esperamos que lo apoyen. All those who live in Ward 5, we hope that you will support nuestro candidato, Chris. ¿Y cómo así se el apellido? How you say your last name?
Rutkowski.
Krukowski.
Yeah, it's okay. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Y seguimos hacia adelante. Aquí ahora tenemos nuestro gran amigo Dan Salerno, amigo del pueblo, friends of the community, of the Latino community. Y nos gusta darle un dolor de cabeza. We like to give him a headache. Hasta luego.
I just wish the 2 gentlemen that are leaving would stick around for a while, because I got a lot of good things to say about them, Carmelo, by the way. So
okay, they don't have to go. You guys can stay here. Even though we got Dan, I like to give him a hard time.
And I didn't interrupt them once, which is pretty good for me.
Eso fue increíble. That was incredible. Dan, gracias. Para nuestro oyente, el señor Dan Salerno está siendo reelecto para la candidatura concejalar como alderman. Él lleva ya unos cuantos tiempo. También quiero darle las gracias porque durante el año él siempre que lo ha invitado ha venido aquí. I'm telling our people that you're being reelected, your position is being reelected again. And during the time that you've been an alderman, every time we have invited you and we've been able to coordinate, you have come to the radio and speak to our people. So we are grateful and we want to say thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me again, Carmel. I just want to say thank you to everybody at 96.9 FM. This is you make it so comfortable for me to be here. So this is the most relaxed I've ever been when I've come here. So probably because I have colleagues that come from the line. Alden Russell obviously has really, put his foot forward and been one of the most active people on our slate in terms of the work he's done. And I want to commend him for it. And this is really his first time dipping his toe into the political process. So he's kind of learning the process through other folks as well. So I do appreciate what he's done. And Chris Rudkowski, as you said, what great answers he's given, because he's, to the point. He's direct. He's a businessman. He's a family man who's really done so much in this community. He's kind of gone unheralded by many. So I'm really glad to run with these guys. And, even though they're Republicans, it's okay. They're good. And that's the point, is I'm a Democrat, and I think it's important to understand that that's why we do. There's been a lot of stuff out there, Carmelo, lately that, how can we trust somebody who's a Democrat running with Republicans? Or, how can we trust a Republican who allows Democrats to come in? When I think of it that way. And the fact is that we're way past that. We're way past that thinking. We're already light years ahead of what both parties are doing in many respects.
Quiero dar las gracias porque usted habló muy bien del señor Alden y habló muy bien del señor Chris, y esperamos que después de la posición que tengan ellos puedan regresar, y después que se le vaya ese tiempo de honeymoon a llegar a los problemas serios. I said that it's very nice that as a colleague you're able to speak very nice to them, and I said and after the election hopefully we'll get, I wait a little bit down the road and get them back after the honeymoon stage is over, and then we knew with the same to see we come up with we had the same atmosphere, porque sé que como candidato, I know as a candidate you're working to get everything done, but then when you have to get into the nitty-gritty with 77 or 70-something thousand people asking, everyone wants something, or not everyone is happy, when you think they're happy, then that's where the crucial stuff come in. Pero usted ha estado en la línea de fuego. You've been in the line of fire for a while now. Una de las cosas que quería hablar con usted, one of the things that we wanted to talk about was a little bit about the budget. Mucha gente están hablando, o el partido contrario dicen que los números que ustedes tienen no son los números correctos. A lot of the people, your colleagues from the other side are saying that the numbers that you guys are reflecting are really not the numbers. And that's always been an issue when someone, you guys present numbers and one saying, oh, this is not a number, that's not a... First of all, is it true that we have a rainy fund or not? I'm here, one day I get them to say we do, and another day we don't. Le estoy preguntando a ellos que siempre, el problema siempre hay con presupuesto. ¿Tenemos el dinero guardado para un tiempo de emergencia o no?
A couple of things before that, Carmelo. First, excuse my voice and my a little bit of a cold, and so if I cough once in a while, I apologize.
No hay problema.
And the other piece about how we get along later on is one of the beauties of what we've done. I was a former majority leader when we had literally a 12-3 vote 2 terms ago, and believe me, it wasn't always easy. But the difference was we had a couple of really good points to make every time we went into something. One is there were no surprises. We sat down and talked about things. We ironed things out. And one of the things we did together, even though we had different positions on things, in our caucus, for example, was we want out knowing we came something a central point where we could make some decisions that we could compromise. And compromise is the key to politics no matter what. It's the art of compromise.
Pero si esto es el problema,
it's important to do that.
Y lo perdono que le interrumpa, so I interrupt you. ¿Por qué fue que este año, los últimos años, había tanta pelea entre ustedes? Why this last 2 years there was so much fighting among the council? People vote for people to come into the council and work together. I can see during the campaign, everybody wants to run, push to their side. But why is it that after the campaign is over, people, 15 people can't come in there and think the best, what is the best for the city of Britain, but they still pulling? And no le estoy echando la culpa a usted. I'm not blaming you on this, and I'm not blaming. I want to see if we could identify why is it that 15 people can't come in there and say, you know what is the best interest for the city of New Britain? We knew that the mayor was putting these projects forward. These projects were forward. They were voting on it. How come 15 people, or I would say one team was running to the left and one was running to the right?
The election's only about 5 days away. So I certainly could be very diplomatic about saying those things at a previous time, trying to get that kind of reaching across the aisles. But I don't think diplomacy is the issue now. It's about the facts and the truth.
Sí.
There are so many things that have happened over the last couple of years that were made common sense and end up, by the way, and it being voted on, by most or all members of the council, except the debate and the argument, which is nothing wrong with debate, and there's nothing wrong with the argument.
Sí.
Got to be point. The reason it was being opposed was not because whether it was good or bad. It was because it was coming from one side versus the other. And when that happens, that just because somebody brings something who's a Democrat or a Republican and presents it and says, well, we're not going to support that because it's coming out of the mayor's office as an example, and that's the only reason, without really looking at the logical options. That's why we have committee meetings. We attend those committee meetings. We're supposed to be working on those committee meetings. We're supposed to resolve some of those issues even before it goes to the council. So I really think becomes a question of partisanship at that point, and that's something that why we have a bipartisan slate.
But
is exactly the point.
Pero el problema es que tienen que trabajar juntos. The thing is, you guys got to work together. Para nuestra gente que no está llamando, tengo al señor Dan Salerno corriendo para el concilio aquí, o Alderman Nacional Norbritan. Si usted tiene una pregunta, nos puede llamar al 860-924-0584. Una pregunta para cualquiera de ellos lo puede hacer. 860-924-0584. Boils back. Every project there was so much. Let me reframe the question here. De todos los proyectos, ¿cuántos proyectos pudieron llegar a un acuerdo? Out of all the projects you have, what was the percentage of the projects you guys end up agreeing?
I'd have to go back on each and every one of them, because ultimately what happened was very many times the vote ended up being, a majority vote. Remember, the Red Caucus does not have a majority vote. So when we went in with 6 votes, we needed to have, for something that the mayor wanted to present, we needed at least 2 more votes at minimum. So 8 to 7 vote. Somehow we'd get more than 8 to 7. It might be 9 to 6, which actually is exactly what the Democrat side has in terms of 9 votes. So the question becomes not so much what's the percentage of times we agreed or disagree. Take a look at the percentage in terms of how many we ended up getting votes on the Democratic side to support things. That it might be 10 to 5. It might be 11 to 4, and that's okay for having opposition to that. There have been things. I guess the point is that we ended up doing a lot of things, except that one of the things we didn't do is there's probably 14 items right now that were tabled in the committees or on council that have not been resolved. And after November 5th, they just completely go away. They disappear into the next council. And those are examples of things of not moving forward. It's amazing how much we did get done over the course of the 2 years, that we could have done so much more if we hadn't had that just general opposition.
¿Y por qué siempre, I go back to this to a similar question. Si la alcaldesa...
Let's hope I can answer it.
Si la alcaldesa, Erin Stewart, tiene una visión y una misión, y la gente puede ver el progreso, ¿por qué que algunos adentro del concilio no lo pueden ver? If Mayor Stewart had the vision and the mission right from the beginning that she started, how come many in the council couldn't see it?
You have to ask them. And the reason I say that is if you start pointing the things that have been positively done, if you look that we have a bond rating that's at A+, that's been up 4 points. If you look at the fact we do have an $18 million surplus in our operating budget, okay, that's in the overall budget. It's not not the operating budget, but the overall ability to have a what you call a rainy day fund or a surplus.
We call it in Spanish a little saving on the side.
Yeah, a little saving on the side, because by the way, that's less than several percent of the entire budget. It's not that much. The fact that we have the Costco deal that came through in terms of the abatement, it's almost over with. I mean, they're going to be paying the maximum amount of money on an annual basis. If we take a look at the schools that have been completed, if you take a look at the downtown district area, the scape areas, the phases within the downtown area, East Main Street, Little Poland, moving over toward Arch Street, all those things have been accomplished and done. Every time you turn around, there's something being constructed somewhere, whether it's about the Columbus Commons, whether it's about and some things we didn't get finished. I mean, we wanted to get more things at Aquinas and so on, but those are just realities. You can't have a 100% success rate. That's not going to happen. So you look at all those things, you say to yourself, how come someone can't see that? Why is it that, when talk about bonding, that we get bonding? Bonding isn't something that people just like to hand out. You've got to be able to show you have the equity to be able to do it in your city. You don't go out and buy a Lexus or a car, with saying, oh, geez, because I'm good looking. That doesn't happen. You got to be able to show some form of dollar amount that says we're going to give that car to you and you're going to be able to buy it and pay it. Same thing with a mortgage. They don't hand you a house just because you look good. In fact, they did that in the 80s, and that's what got us into a lot of trouble. So those are all positive things. So I shake my head. I can't tell you why you would not see something as ultimately positive. Again, I don't want to get into too much of the weeds on this.
Sí, no, y le doy las gracias, y le doy las gracias por eso. Thank you for that. Yo le comentaba el lunes a nuestro Alderman Christian Rosado. Le comentaba cómo tanta gente han venido a hablarme a mí del progreso de la ciudad, que están fuera de la ciudad, y se me decía dificultoso que las personas de la ciudad de Noblita no vean el progreso. We had Alderman Christian Rosado here on Monday, and I was telling him so many people that I know out of town from New London, Norwich. I have found so many of my friends that I grew up in school in New London, down at Criollissimo or Borinquen Bakery, or they came down here because they wanted to see the bridge, and they all telling me, none of this stuff is going on in my city. Every time I come to New Britain, there's something new. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Alderman how hard it was for me to even tell the people, how come some of the people in the same city can't see something when people who are coming from the outside are wishing to have what we have?
I think a lot of it just has, like anything else. When Chris Rakowski gets elected to the council, he's going to learn things he never knew. Because I learned things I never knew. Alden Russell's going to get them to find out what he can do in appeals, assessment, what he can't do, because it's a learning process. No matter, and by the way, we're bringing a great wealth of knowledge information already. Often to people, and we're willing to sit down and talk about how does the budget work. Why can't I use the Beehive Bridge as a great example? Well, you spent all this money on, we really didn't spend all that money on the Beehive Bridge. We got the money from the state. We got money from federal options. That happened to a lot. When you're getting 70, 80% and higher of a return, why wouldn't it be? Imagine if you decided you wanted to go buy a house and somebody said, here, the house is worth $100, I'm giving you $80,000, go buy a house, and you say no.
Right.
You take the other $20,000 and you work with it because you just got an advantage that no one else had. We've had that advantage in everything. It's been timely. It's been because of fast track, because DOT wanted to spend money here. Often people want us to do things that we can't do because the funding isn't there. And yet we still did things with the homeless. We still did things with the veterans. We still did so many aspects that were done because we were able to manage our money. That's the key about it. It's about managing your budget and being able to show how we manage that budget and still come up with a surplus and still come up with something that says this is, we've really done well. Isn't it nice to have a little bit in your savings account at the end of the year at your home? It's the same thing, but it's not a lot. It's not going to survive us. I think the example is always, boy, if we have a tornado that comes down through the city of New Britain, who's going to pay for it? And don't tell me you can't have a tornado coming down through the city of New Britain.
No puede pasar. Pero la pregunta
so you need to have that savings, and it's understanding the details that people have to be explained, and I'm always willing to do that whenever they want.
But this is the big question everyone been asking. ¿La ciudad tiene menos deuda ahora o más deuda? Has the city debt has gone down or has gone up? Is the debt lower now or higher?
The city debt actually is maintained. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is that we've had debt before we came in 2013. The numbers of $420 million that was thrown out, by the way, are false. I mean, we only have a ceiling of somewhere in the vicinity of about $360 million, let's say. That's what we could go to. We're at about $280 million. Now, what's that? That is construction costs from projects that have been there for 10 years. We pay $23 million a year in debt service to the debt that we had from Arch Street 10, 15 years ago, Little Poland 10, 15 years ago. I mean, we can go on. And some of that is being paid down. Some of it is already done. But we still continue to add to that, because if you don't add to that, you can't fix your roads, you can't fix your bridges, you can't fix your schools. We added $42 million for Smalley School. Anybody here doesn't like the fact that our children have a brand new spanking school system, in the heart of the city?
Gaffney.
Does anybody not believe that we have about $30 million in Gaffney? And that's $72 million. It went up, but that's why we restructured. We pay about $2 or $3 million every year just to cover the cost of the Board of Education facilities on top of it. And that comes out of your operating budget every single year. It's just really hard to say. We're going to have debt? Anybody? I will never tell you you're not going to have debt. I asked Chris Kwiatkowski that, and he said, do you think you're never going to have debt? I mean, let's see.
Always in debt.
He's always in debt.
Él trae una buena que él dice que para
that gives you opportunity and gives you credit.
Él está hablando de que le pregunté si la ciudad estaba en menos deuda o más deuda. Dice que las deudas están mantenidas. Él dice que muchas de las deudas que tenemos son de muchos años atrás, de construcciones que se hicieron 10 y 15 años. Puede ser la calle Arch, o puede ser Little Poland, o puede ser la escuela que tenemos. Tenemos muchos proyectos que tuvieron anteriormente que muchas de las tasas de impuestos fueron reducidas por el buen manejo y el buen crédito que tiene la ciudad. Él dice que nadie le puede decir que nunca va a haber deuda en una ciudad, porque siempre hay que seguir con las infraestructuras de la ciudad. One of the things that, let me go back here. ¿Cuál es el peligro de no tener el liderato correcto en la alcaldía o en el concilio? What is the danger of not having the right mayor or the right council in a city?
Wow. I mean, I think we've seen some of that over the years. Mm-hmm. And in the sense that when we talked about taxes and people saying, well, no, we're not going to raise your taxes, so re-elect me. That's nice. Well, we didn't raise taxes for many years. We still had debt, still had to pay the bonding issues, prices still went up. But imagine if you couldn't go to your boss, or you couldn't get a 2% or a 3% increase, whatever it might be, whether it's a union position or a non-union position. You can't hold that because the market continues to grow, the economy continues to grow. So the problem of that is not having anybody understand some of that. I mean, one of the things that this mayor has is a background in it. People say, well, she's young. She had a background. Even at 26, she was on the Board of Education, which means that she was involved in handling half the budget of the city before she turned 26. Nobody can say that very often. She has an education behind that, as an example. We have people on the council who bring a lot, and will continue to bring a lot of experience. Chris Kwiatkowski is a good example. He's a businessman. He understands this. He's bringing expertise. So having people who aren't there, who don't have that experience, it's an on-the-job training. We can't afford on-the-job training on some things. We have to have good management, and that's an important aspect.
Me gustó lo que dice el señor Dan Salerno, que el peligro que hay de no tener las personas adecuadas en el concilio o como alcalde. Él acaba de decir que, como el señor Chris que está con él aquí, que tiene la experiencia de negocio, son las personas que se necesita adentro del concilio, porque no hay tiempo para estar entrenando a una persona de algo que no tiene los conocimientos, sea de finanzas, sea de negocio o sea del presupuesto. I totally agree that the city is in a position of progress, that we don't have time to be training people that have no knowledge. We need people with the knowledge in business, in real estate, in budgeting. They will know numbers, and they would not be afraid of the numbers. Because if you never had a debt of more than $5,000, or you never bought anything of high value, once you get into a budget, then you're going to have a problem understanding numbers of millions. It might be more than where most people have been involved, hundreds of millions of dollars. But I always put that, if you have never bought something that is just worth a couple thousand, when they throw numbers at you of millions, they won't even have an imagination. And I believe that in one way or another you need to have experience, because life experience could teach you a lot of stuff that you need to know in order to know when the pressure come in, not to crack. Because every day, as husbands, as fathers, as owners, or whatever you do, that is a pressure. But someone that doesn't have any pressure or doesn't have any life experience, is gonna buckle down in a tough situation. Vamos a tener una llamada. I'm gonna have a phone call. Carmelo y el Pueblo, edición especial. Hacia adelante. ¿Cuál es la pregunta?
Buenas tardes, Dios le bendiga.
Amén.
Mi pregunta, no es mi pregunta, fue que yo entendí que el exponente anterior, Chris, se fue por la tangente cuando le preguntaste si hay más deuda o menos deuda. Él no te contestó la pregunta, si sí o no.
No, te dice el señor Danforth. He's saying that when there was very the person the caller said that you were very vague when he asked you if the city had more debt or less debt, that you were very vague on it. Well,
Okay, well, I'll try not to be vague and go so you can translate. Is there more debt today than there was? I'd have to look at the exact numbers. I would say it's about pretty much evened out since we were already $30 million in debt when we walked in. We actually rescinded $23 million of earlier debt just by saying that if a bonding issue gets put into play, and let's just give you an example, you had a $5 million bonding and you only spent $3.5 million, but it's still sitting there, you can decide to take the other $1.5 million and not take it out of the bonding and then not have to pay on the interest on that piece of it. There were a lot of areas that were just sitting there for years that no one bothered to touch.
Okay. Puedo entender la pregunta. Cuando la alcaldesa Erin Stewart llegó a la ciudad de New Britain, la ciudad estaba en un déficit. What was the deficit the city had when Mayor Stewart came in?
30 million.
De 30 millones, el cual eso fue balanceado. Él está hablando a través de las tasas, el cambio de negociaciones y arreglar las tasas de esas deudas viejas reducieron.
I believe it was about $75 million in new debt in just 2 years.
En los últimos 12 subió 75 millones de deuda, but overall, the debt you said has been maintained or balanced because many of them been worked at.
Remember, if you have a debt, let's just say if you have a $250 million debt and your interest rates, whatever there may be, at 4% or 5% or 6%, you're going to increase that. It's like your credit card, right? You're going to pay off on it, but it keeps building because of the interest rate. So the idea is to get it in control in terms of how you spend it over the course of time. So by the year 2030, I'll use that as an example. You're always paying on the debt. That we're going to be able to pay off about 50% of the existing debt. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact of the matter is, and we're probably going to add some debt to it somewhere down the line. That's just the reality. The issue is how you're able to pay that portion of it off. It should have been higher. That's another discussion about why we didn't pay a larger percentage off by 2030, because we waited too long to be able to move on the interest issues or surrounding when we went out for new bonding. Okay. We can't wait. It's very timing. It's things that are not even in our control. We don't control the market. So is the debt increase? It's increased to the extent that where it's probably more than it was in 2013, but it's not. But how we're paying that off is going to be, we'll be paying more of it off than we would have had we not restructured.
¿Puedo entender la pregunta ahora?
Sí, okay.
Sí.
Thank you.
A la orden.
Was that helpful?
All right.
Hey, that was the good answer. He understood. Muchas gracias, mi gente. Nos pueden llamar a los 860-924-0584 si tiene una pregunta para cualquiera de nuestros candidatos aquí, o si siente algo que le gusta, no le gusta la ciudad de New Britain, o tienen una inquietud, hágalo ahora. Estos son los candidatos, el señor Chris y el señor está siendo reelecto para la posición. El señor Daniel Leonard ya lleva, this is your third term, right? Your fourth term, sorry. Es su cuarto término corriendo. Y para el señor Chris, es su primera para postularse para el concejal. Si usted tiene una pregunta o se siente que usted quisiera ver algo nuevo en la ciudad de New Britain o un cambio, esto es un buen tiempo de llamarnos 860-924-0584, que lo que me queda son un par de minutitos y ya mismo tengo que enganchar los guantes aquí. Ok, mi gente. I think now another let's talk a little bit area. I had Mayor Stewart recently here, and she was excited about the big project. I think it's like a $1 billion project coming in now. And I was in Washington D.C. and the buzzes are everywhere about what's going on in Britain. Believe it or not, since last time that I was here, how that investment that they're doing in the city of Britain, how is that going to be a factor down the road for the city of Britain in the positive side?
I don't right now, because there's always things that could be negative about situations, but boy, I don't see them coming really soon in the negative. It's all about the positive. So quickly, what it is basically we're doing a fuel cell technology. There's 3 phases to it. The first phase is obviously bringing in those fuel cells, which provide the energy for what everyone may or may not know is called the cloud. I didn't know what the cloud was until this happened in many ways. Now I get the cloud. You got to picture a bunch of Walmarts empty with a whole lot of computers in them. That's the cloud. Every picture you pull down, every text message that you send, everything anything that you do on your phone or on your computer has to go somewhere so that you can go and get it later on, so you can retrieve it. That's what we're looking at. That's 21st century. That's thinking way ahead. So the first center is getting the fuel cells in, and then basically by marketing those fuel cells to all the other people who collect data, they need to have, and by the way, I am not an engineer. I don't even pretend to be a computer scientist. This is like all new to me, but I understand the dollar factor. You bring that in. The second portion of it is the data center, where we would be able to, think about, banks of computers that are collecting that data and holding it. And the third is to do an innovation research on that.
Okay.
Sure. The numbers I can talk about later.
Carmelo y el Pueblo, edición especial aquí. Hacia adelante con la pregunta.
Carmelo, Aurelio.
Dígame.
¿Para qué está corriendo ese que está hablando contigo?
Él está corriendo para el señor de Orlando, está corriendo para el concilio.
¿Habla español?
No, él no habla español, él es italiano, pero entiende un poquito y yo le traduzco.
Siciliano, Popolski.
Tenemos un polaco, tenemos un americano, un polaco y un italiano. Y el boricua.
Es que la gente ahora cuando le hablan cualquier cosita en español, ellos, habla español, mira, habla español, y se van de esa parte.
No.
La gente quiere entender lo que la persona habla.
Sí, he estado, como dije, puse un disclaimer del principio que estaba tratando de traducir, pero muchas de las informaciones es bien profunda, que yo no quería dañar traducirlo y decir algo en contrario. Me disculpo con nuestro oyente, que creo que el señor Delano no solamente es alderman, pero también es un profesor. Entonces a veces las palabras no las tengo ni en español para poder traducirlas.
Pero enséñale que se entienda cuál par de cositas cuando vaya a hablar con los hispanos, porque a los hispanos les gustaría oír algo hispano, un español.
Sí, la diferencia entre ellos y nosotros es que a todos los demás candidatos a muchos candidatos yo los invité y ninguno se ha atrevido, y estos son los bravos que llegan aquí y atreven a hablarse a la comunidad hispana. Tenemos que pensar eso a la hora del voto.
Seguro, porque la gente, tú sabes que la gente quiere escuchar algo. Cuando dice, mira, la niña habla español. ¿No te acuerdas cuando estaba Lumber allá en Nueva York? Mira, habla español.
Sí, pues,
se dejaban de llevar de eso.
No, ¿sabes qué? Y en el partido, la línea B, tenemos el señor Christian Rosado, está el señor Willy Pavón, está la señora Lauren González. Those are three, right? The ones,
¿Y para qué está cogiendo ese? ¿Para qué partido?
No, I'm line B. No, le estoy diciendo que tengo las tres. La alcaldesa Erin Stewart también tiene, la alcaldesa Erin Stewart también tiene latino, también en el partido de ellos. Antes tuvo el señor Christian Rosario, estamos esperando que venga el señor Willy Pavón para que venga, pero sí que la alcaldesa también tiene latino también.
Pero este es republicano.
Todas las líneas, they scolded me because they said that you're saying a lot of good things and I should have been translating. And I told them that not only are you an alderman, but you're a professor, so a lot of the words and terminology, I don't have them in Spanish.
I apologize.
I'm apologizing because I should be able to translate them. Okay. So they're trying to say that I should learn a little bit that, and at the same time, learn a little Spanish so we could go get together here.
Yeah, I should learn a little Spanish too.
Yeah.
Un poquito, señor, un poquito de español.
Carmelo.
Sí.
Tell que he knows how to apologize because he says American country.
Yeah, and I should be saying it in Spanish. Sí, no scolded me. No, pero muchas gracias. Yo trataré de como dice, poder traducir un poquito mejor. ¿Ok?
Sí, pero que tenga algo en la cabeza con en español para que lo siga y hable también.
Está en la línea B para el martes, para el día de las elecciones. ¿Ok?
Bueno,
ok, muchas gracias.
Republicano, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ok, bye.
You see, I even get chewed out here because they say that you have the information. I should be saying a little bit more in English. But like I said, I did my disclaimer in the beginning. I didn't want to translate something. Certain terminology, certain things you got to be on point, or else I will say just the opposite.
And that's just my. I mean, I could give some other.
You could be
more
saying
basic examples
that the city's doing great, and then I translate and say the city's doing wrong, and then it just throws.
Right. Okay.
I would never say that, something like that. But that's one of our listeners. But he said also that having a lot of Latinos is good to know a couple. But it's good. And I also I also want to tell you guys that I told him and I told the audience, I invited on the row A everyone to come down. I had extended to the candidates, and only one person, Willie Justiano, was the only one that came. No one else came in, and I want to say also, I want to apologize because yesterday I was supposed to have Sharon Saavedra, Mrs. Marla and her husband, and I was supposed to have one more person. I think it was Willie, and because I was on another business trip, I had to cancel my show, so I got to bring him back in.
I'm going to say something to that, though. I think that you gave me an opportunity to do that, Carmelo.
Yeah.
The budget is complicated. Then I'll let you go.
Yeah, el presupuesto es un poquito complicado.
But there's a process.
Pero hay un proceso.
That one, as a council member, should be following.
Una que como parte del concilio tienen que seguir siguiéndolo.
Every year starts in January.
Todos los años comienza en el mes de enero.
Every year.
Todos los años en enero.
The Board of Finance and Taxation meets.
La Junta de los Impuestos y de Finanzas se unen.
They meet twice a week from January till April or May.
Ellos se unen 2 veces al mes. Twice a month, you say, right?
Almost, yep.
2 veces al mes de enero.
No, twice a week.
O 2 veces a la semana. Ellos se unen 2 veces a la semana, from January to April.
From January to March or April.
De enero a abril, ellos se unen 2 veces a la semana para dialogar acerca del presupuesto.
Every department makes the presentation.
Todos los departamentos de la alcaldía hacen una presentación.
Adding up to $250 million.
Llegando casi a $250 million.
In 6 years, there have been 72 meetings.
Ha habido 72 reuniones.
I've been to 70 of them.
Y él ha estado ahí en 70 reuniones. El señor Denson ha estado en 70 de esas reuniones que tienen que ver con la finanza.
And combined, I don't believe that the other side has vowed more than 3.
Y el otro grupo A, no cree que no han llegado en conjunto, ni 3 de ellos han llegado para aprender acerca del presupuesto.
So if you don't watch the process,
si tú no ves el proceso
of the budget
del presupuesto,
how can you criticize it?
¿Cómo tú puedes criticarlo? Eso habla volumen, that speak volume, porque esta campaña política se está debatiendo en presupuesto, because this campaign, the debate has been on numbers and budget. Hablando acerca de eso, my time is out. Yeah, I know that would take a while to think. Let me go back. Let me just say that we appreciate Chris for coming here, el señor Dan Salerno, el señor Alden. ¿Qué a usted le gustaría ver el martes de nuestra gente? What would you like to see from our constituent on Tuesday?
I would just like them to get out and vote.
Que saquen y voten.
But make sure they go out and they really give serious consideration to row B.
Y tomen seria consideración de la línea B.
That's row B, and that is the team steward, and we're bringing you diversity, transparency, and accessibility.
Ellos nos dan transparencia, credibilidad que viene con la línea B. Tengo también el señor Alden. Le damos las gracias. Thank you for coming on here.
Thank you. And the only answer is row B right across.
La única contesta ahora mismo en la línea B. Algo que yo puedo decir desde que la alcaldesa Erin Stewart llegó aquí, ha estado aquí, la alcaldesa ha venido a muchos de nuestros programas, todos los años que está aquí, o casi todos los meses está con nosotros. El señor Dan Salerno, siempre que lo hemos invitado, estaba aquí. El señor Christian Rosado ha llegado, estaba aquí. En otras oportunidades ha estado la señora Sharon Saavedra cuando corrió anteriormente. Hemos tenido también who else have been here before, from the council, casi siempre hemos tenido del jefe de la policía, hemos tenido del jefe de los bomberos, hemos tenido a los líderes de la comunidad. So I'm telling my audience that I really appreciate that since Mayor Stewart came in, she's always been here at least once a month or every other month. We have many of the aldermen that have been here from her slate have come in when have been available. Ustedes siempre han estado dispuestos para contestar las preguntas. You guys have always been available to answer the question. Y como aquí de parte de 96.9, on behalf of 96.9 FM, we want to thank you because when we invite you, you guys come in, you answer the tough questions. The mayor has been here plenty of time. Like I said, for the 6 years, she has the record of most being on Spanish stations. And, y sí, hay que decir la verdad. We have to tell the truth. vemos un progreso en la ciudad. There's a progress in the city of New Britain. La ciudad, para el latino, siendo esto una estación latina, bien this is Spanish station, el latino ha progresado más bajo esta administración más que cualquier persona. The Latino has grown the most out of this administration under Mayor Stewart than anybody else within her 6 years. So, por eso que queremos apoyar a la alcaldesa Erin Stewart y el equipo, and that's why we want to support Mayor Stewart and her slate, porque el compromiso ha sido con la ciudad y ha sido con los latinos, because we want to say, on behalf of the Latino, Mayor Stewart, always her commitment has been to everyone in the city, but we have seen that the Latino community being part of the people that has progressed on business, on housing, on people on position like never before.
And if we don't support the rest of row B, Mayor Stewart can't get her job done the way she'd like to.
Como dice, si no apoyamos al equipo completo cuando usted vaya, si usted tiene eso, porque la alcaldesa Erin Stewart viene con un equipo que sabe la visión y la misión de lo que hay que hacer en la ciudad. A veces mucha gente dice, pues yo traigo a otro lado. No, ellos están pidiendo. Y que para aquellos que no estén seguros, entre el mismo línea de ellos hay latinos, hay afroamericanos, hay anglos, hay polacos, hay de todo. Ahí hasta también tenemos también de la comunidad cristiana, tenemos el señor Joel More, el señor Jason Gibson y el señor Christian Rosado, que son parte de la colaboración de nosotros. I got one more person here. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into a commercial, and I got about 5 more minutes. Me llegó aquí el presidente de la comisión de la policía, y también me llegó también, y él también cogiendo para la junta de la junta concejal. So, a mí, vamos a añadirle esto, vamos a ponerle aquí algo aquí de los comerciales, y seguimos aquí con la edición especial de Carmelo y el Pueblo.
Nuestra programación les llega con una aportación de las siguientes firmas.
El centro de New Britain tiene todo lo necesario para sus compras, desde la plaza de New Britain en la calle East Main hasta las tiendas en la calle Main. Son lugares para encontrar, sí que vas a encontrar comida, ropa, entretenimiento y alquiler de apartamento. No olvides de visitar nuestro centro en New Britain y les aseguraremos que encontrará todo lo que usted necesita. Llámenos al centro de visitantes al 860-229-0878 o si nos puedes conseguir a través de kerry@newbritandd.com para obtener cualquier otra información. Gracias por visitar nuestro centro New Britain.
South Main Street Laundromat, localizado en el 182 de la South Main Street en New Britain, Connecticut, y abierto los 7 días de la semana, de 7:30 de la mañana y último lavado a las 9 de la noche. En South Main Street Laundromat usamos el equipo más moderno, que incluye desinfectante, el cual produce un lavado más eficiente. También servicio de lavado, secado y doblado. El secado es gratis con el lavado. Para información, comunícate al 860-225-7627. Ese es el número, 860-225-7627.
This is WPRF 96.9, Newport in Hartford.
Jesús llegó, me enamoré, no me pude contener, me cautivó. Jesús llegó, me enamoré, no me pude contener, me cautivó. Tú me perdonas aunque yo me equivoqué, me guardas y proteges para que no me derrote. Me pides que mis faltas en tus manos coloque, que con mi frente puesta un milagro yo provoque. Y a ti yo me rindo, mi vida te brindo. Yo quiero adorarte de lunes a domingo. Vivir sin ti no tiene sentido. Ahora vivo, no solo respiro. Jesús llegó, me enamoré, no me pude es invencible. Oh, oh, no necesito vista porque tengo fe. Yo veré su gloria una y otra vez. Ya te voy siguiendo, vida impartiendo.
Sí, seguimos aquí en la buena sintonía de 96.9 FM. I gotta raise it up just a little bit here. Con Carmelo y la edición especial. Con Carmelo y el pueblo hemos traído los candidatos de la línea B que están corriendo con la alcaldesa Erin Stewart. Terminamos de tener el señor Chris, señor Dan Salerno, y ahora tenemos también el presidente de la comisión de la policía, el cual yo tengo el placer de estar con él, y también el cual está corriendo también para el concilio Alderman. Welcome to 96.9 FM. We're just telling our audience that you are the chairman of the Police Commissioner Board, and now you're also running for Alderman. Bienvenido. ¿Cómo estamos? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Welcome. It's great to be here.
La misma pregunta, le voy a hacer la misma pregunta que le hice a Chris. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Chris. ¿Por qué usted quiere correr ahora para el concilio? Que yo sé que usted también viene de la rama de negocio. Why you want to run for alderman when I know that you also come from the business world and you have plenty on your plate, but now you're dipping and jumping into the pool here?
Well, it's true. I am a business owner, long-time New Britain resident. I've had 3 children that went through the New Britain schools, so I'm very familiar with the school system. I do own a business that's based out of New Britain, and I have a lot of friends that also own businesses in New Britain, and they've always said that they like cities that invest in themselves, and I've certainly seen that with Erin Stewart. Mayor Stewart's done a wonderful job getting businesses excited about being downtown in New Britain, and I want to see whatever I can do to help that. Being 17 years, well, previously Human Rights and Opportunities Commissioner, and the 17 years now as the Police Commissioner, 6 years as the Chairman, and I've worked very closely with now 4 different chiefs, but certainly the last Chief Wardwell and Chief Shute. And I've been very fortunate to have what I feel elevated the police department to be a state-of-the-art, community-based, certainly envy to many police department, and I feel pretty good that I was able to help that success, and I think I can bring a lot of those different advantages to City Hall, and I'm anxious to see what I can do to help the mayor.
Él está hablando de como dice, muchos años invirtió en la ciudad de Nobrita, en la comisión de la policía, pero también tuvo en la comisión de recursos humanos, pudo trabajar aquí, y ahora no solamente él y su familia, también a través de los años tuvo la oportunidad también de trabajar con diferentes jefes de la policía, el cual él se siente que tiene la experiencia para mover nuestra ciudad. I like the idea that of those who come in with a business mentality, porque la ciudad es una combinación de la gente pro negocio, because the city is a combination of business and the people. So having someone that come in with experience of business, but also homegrown pretty much in the city of New Britain, it gives the ability that when things are brought to the table, you understand the process because you've been here, but you're also but also being a businessman, you know the pressure that comes with that.
Absolutely, and I want to just commend certainly Commissioner Rodriguez for being part of the Police Commission with us too. But that's correct. As business, you have to balance the business all the time, the dollars spent, etc. And I also working with the community. I've always said, as a commission chairman or commissioner, we represent the city to the police department, but also the police department to the community residents. So we need to listen to them, and I certainly been doing that for the last 17 years. And it's the same thing with business. We need to listen to our customers and find out what they want and be proactive more than reactive.
Está hablando que parte de siendo como el presidente de la Comisión de la Policía es poder tener una buena comunicación entre la policía y la gente y la policía. Es la misma información o el mismo modelo que tiene que tener entre la alcaldía y la gente, de poder presentarle, y a causa de su experiencia él puede ser eso. Una de las cosas, one of the things that I was asking
also candidate Chris and reelect Alderman Dan Salerno, was concerning the budgets of the city. And one of the big complaints has been that, you have 15 people and people not, one side, one group fighting the other group and not coming to agreement. And even though Alderman Salerno said, even with that, so much stuff got done. What are the tools that you bring in to make sure that you were able to negotiate with the other side and come with an agreement?
Well, I think for 17 years as the police commissioner, I was fully endorsed by both the Republicans and Democrats to be the chairman 6 years ago. And I've worked very closely with all of them for the past 17 years, worked through 3 different administrations, Tim Stewart, Tim O'Brien, and now Aaron Stewart. So I've had no issue whatsoever. In fact, a lot of them weren't really sure what my party was. So I just thought I should be apolitical when I was working for the police commission.
Él dice que los últimos 17 años él ha trabajado con 3 administraciones. Puedo trabajar con el señor Tim Stewart, también puedo trabajar con el señor Tim O'Brien y también con la alcaldesa Aaron Stewart. En los 17 años dice que ha sido su trabajo como presidente de la Comisión de la Policía, no era tanto en base de la política, que muchos hasta le preguntaron que cuál era su afiliación, pero él dice que los últimos 17 años él ha podido unir y trabajar con todo. One of the things we always see that there's always room for improvement in our city, in our city, in any city. What areas you would like to see improvement in the city of New Britain?
Well, I think obviously the most important is we all look at tax, and which I do too, and we don't have a lot of room for growth as far as structures, but I think there's a lot of room for growth with businesses. So I think we need certainly downtown, more restaurants, more places for people to actually want to go, but just to build up the image of the city. And I think we're on the right track. We just need to continue to do that.
Él dice que una de las áreas es siempre la preocupación de los impuestos, pero sabiendo que no hay como más terreno para las inversiones, de poder reducir eso. Estamos hablando con el candidato para el concejal, el señor Howard Tyson. Está aquí en la línea B, corriendo para el concilio. Lleva 17 años como presidente de la Junta de la Comisión de la Policía, el cual yo también tengo el privilegio de tenerlo como mi presidente y a colaborar con él. When it comes to business in the city of New Britain, you being a businessman and knowing that world there, how as an alderman, but also as a businessman, how you will promote the city of New Britain so business can come into our city?
Well, I think the mayor has done a great job doing that. When the city, we always ride the wave up and we ride the wave down, and I think the wave is certainly going up. And I think with Fast Track, people are looking at the Beehive Bridge, they're looking at Palomar, they're looking at the data center. I think there's a lot of encouragement, and businesses will look at, and as I said before, they're looking to grow in areas that they feel those cities that want to grow. And I think there's just a tremendous opportunity in New Britain. I mean, what other city in the state has 2 hospitals, a world-renowned art museum, wonderful parks, state college? I just think it's there's so much to offer, and I really do truly believe we're on the right track. So I think the businesses and the employees will come. And data center is huge.
Él está hablando de a través de los años que ha visto el progreso que ha visto en la ciudad de New Britain, ha visto un crecimiento y ha visto que a través del Fast Track y de y el autobús que ha venido, hemos podido tener un aumento en el progreso. La pregunta que quisiera decir, ¿por qué deben votar por usted? Why they should vote for you?
Well, I have a lot of, being the fact that I'm a business owner and fully understand businesses and budgets, and I've spent 17 years or all my life listening to people, respecting people. And I really, truly believe that I can make a difference. I can continue to make a difference in working with both Republicans and Democrats in the city council to be able to make this a vibrant city. Of course, I grew up here. I was born here in 1954 and remember the city when it was very vibrant. And my grandmother used to take me down to the city. And although we'll never be that type of city again, I truly believe we can make this a city that everybody would respect. And that's one of the things I always wanted, is that people want to respect the city that they live in and be excited about it.
Me gustó eso. I like that. Hablando, una de las cosas que de las muchas cosas que él crea ciudad es poder saber que la gente respeta a nuestra ciudad y la gente quiere respetar a nuestra ciudad. El martes, ¿qué usted espera de la gente? On Tuesday, on election day, what are you waiting for the people to do?
Vote.
Que la gente salga a votar. Uno de las usted dijo que como negociante, you said that as a businessman, as involved in the commission, in the police commissioner board, you have seen the difference in the progress. ¿Qué más cambio le gustaría ver a usted? What other changes you would like to see for the city of New Britain?
For the city. I'm not sure, other than the direction we're going. Yeah, I'd like to see the downtown area be a little more vibrant. That would be a huge help, I think. But the Central Park area looks good. I'd like to see, when we're going to see that now with the old where the police department was on Columbus, what they call it, Columbus the Gardens. That looks like it's going to be very exciting. There's going to be businesses in there. There's going to be condos, apartments in there, and I think that will be a huge help. But there's some other areas downtown that can be spruced up, and I'd like to see if we can get more restaurants downtown that a lot of the CCSU students would want to come downtown too. So that's kind of the things I'm shooting for.
Él dice que le gustaría ver más negocio en el downtown, en el área centro, como restaurantes, lugares para que los estudiantes de la Universidad de CCSU puedan llegar y estar aquí. Él está hablando de los apartamentos nuevos que están al lado de donde era el cuartel de la policía. Está mejorando, ha sido mejorado. Él le gustaría ver esos cambios que vienen. Señor Howard Dyson, muchas gracias por venir. Thank you very much for coming on 96.9 FM. We had pretty much a lot of your colleagues here today. As I told Mr. Dan Salerno and Chris and all of them, we have seen the Latino community has seen improvement under the administration of Mayor Stewart. We're having more police, more on the fire department, just business, housing. She has the record of being most in Latino organization. Pretty much the slate of the people that I invited came here, while the other side only had one brave soldier came in. Matter of fact, which is your one of your contenders, Senor Willie Justiano, from Ward 1. But nobody else dared to come, and we appreciate that. We appreciate when the Mayor Stewart, not only she represent, but her slate also represent our community. And when we ask them to come to the Spanish community and bring their view, they do come, compared to the other side.
Well, and thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And yes, although I'm running in Ward 1, the West End, I consider everybody in the city that I will listen to and I will respect.
Él dice que aunque está corriendo para el distrito el señor Howard Dyson está corriendo para el distrito número 1, el cual está corriendo él, el señor Howard Dyson y el señor Willie Pavón. Ese es el equipo del distrito número 1, Ward 1, que es el señor Willie Pavón, y el señor Howard Dyson es el distrito 1, pero él dice que él está para trabajar para todas las personas de la comunidad. Once again, thank you for coming to 96.9 FM. Wish you the best of luck. Queremos que nuestra gente salgan y voten. We want our people to come out and vote. Y queremos el progreso. We want the progress to continue going forward.
Absolutely.
No queremos ir para atrás. We don't want to go backward. And we already told the people, as Dan and Chris told them very eloquently, that we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward. And we want to be able to support those who support Mayor Stewart.
I agree, and that's what I said. When you ride the wave down, you ride the wave up, and we're certainly taking the wave up. And I want to make sure we continue to do that. And I'm excited about the direction we're going.
Seguro que sí. Estamos súper contentos. Algo que a mí me gusta del equipo de Aaron Store, one of the things that I really like about the Slave Aaron Store, is the diversity within the structure of the knowledge, from business to real estate to community leaders to people that knows education. And that toolbox, there's a lot of tools.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes a strong team. So, mi gente, esto fue Carmelo y el Pueblo. Casi siempre estamos los lunes y los miércoles. We usually hear Mondays and Wednesdays, but today we had the special edition on Thursday. Nuestra gente tienen que salir a votar el martes. Tienen que salir el martes. Nuestra ciudad está en un progreso positivo y no podemos dejar que nuestra ciudad regrese a los tiempos difíciles. So, una vez más, seguimos aquí en la buena sintonía de 96.9 FM, su emisora favorita. Esto fue Carmelo y el Pueblo con la edición especial, y tuve el placer de tener aquí el señor Howard Dyson, que estará corriendo. Él está corriendo con el señor Willy Pavón en el distrito número 1. Todas esas personas que viven al lado del Reservoir, la área, parte de la calle Ellis, la parte de Monroe.
High school too.
La área de la high school es el distrito de ellos. Si usted no sabe dónde va a votar, usted puede siempre llamar a la alcaldía. Is there's a number if do you guys have a number if someone wants to call?
I have my cell phone number.
Okay. Si alguien quiere llamar para el distrito, if someone has a question within your district, can they call you?
Absolutely.
¿Cuál es el teléfono?
860-305-3714.
El número para llamar, si usted tiene una pregunta del distrito número 1 para votar, usted puede llamar a 860-305-3714. El señor Howard Dyson, usted puede llamar acerca de su plataforma o de ese distrito, cualquier pregunta que tenga el día de la elección. Anyone that has a problem that day, if they're not sure, where to vote, or they need a transportation, anything, they call. I know that you guys will probably make it happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Ok, seguimos aquí en la buena sintonía de 96.9 FM, aquí con la estación favorita, Restauración.
Sintoniza este y todos los miércoles de 6 a 7 de la noche el programa radial Contigo Mujer, bajo el lema del Salmo 68:6. Dios hace habitar en familia a los desamparados. Un programa auspiciado por la Iglesia Dios sea la Gloria, incorporado un programa diseñado para impartir una palabra de esperanza y fe, con temas acerca de nuestro diario vivir, familia y educación espiritual, dirigido por la pastora Noemí Sierra, junto a las hermanas Glorimar Corea y Libni May Caraba.